So don't mind me, but I just came out of the gym and it's so wonderful to be there. Um, when you go through domestic violence or you go through parental alienation, you create these deep thoughts in which you think you are lesser than, you don't belong, you're not good enough, you're isolated on purpose. Is a mental war tactic to devalue and make you feel like you're not worth anything. And so I've been battling this for almost my entire adult life, because little by little it was being destroyed by the very person I thought was supposed to protect me, was supposed to partner up with me, be my husband. And so initially I didn't know exactly what was happening. There was no name. I tried to look for help. I went to domestic violence meetings. I talked to my doctors. You name it, I talked, and I couldn't figure it out because no one I saw around me was going through the same stuff that I was going through, not to my level at least. And it is so covert and is done in such a subtle way that you don't really recognize it. You don't recognize that they are dissecting you and pulling your inner self apart. So I struggle with thoughts that, could be very detrimental. You think about suicide. You think about numbing yourself. You think about becoming that person that they intended you to become, because the stuff that was being done was so that I would end up being a drunk somewhere or a drug addict somewhere, or to take my own life. And in fact, I will always remember the phone call from my I want to call him my father-in-law, because he was the only one out of the entire family who actually gave me a call and let me know, like, no matter what my son does, do not kill yourself. That's what he said. That was the last time I think I've ever spoken to him. I think he knew what was happening, what was being plotted. And I think he wanted to warn me in his own way. And I kept saying to him, why would you say that? That sounds crazy. Well, years later, I can connect the dots looking back. But what I really want to talk about is the fact that when you want to recover from parental alienation, and I will always probably be in recovery because this is a very it's just so fragile, but what I really want to say is that there is such thing as recovery. Now, it has taken me years, and probably people can really climb out of these issues in a much faster way. It's just that I didn't have any information. I mean, it wasn't until the other day that parental alienation was recognized as a syndrome and was even looked into the courts as a real thing. And so, tread lightly, right? But in all of the information that I've been able to compile, in all of the life experiences, and now having lived through having had another relationship in which, first of all, I think any saint that would take on the hard work of loving someone like me in my position, regardless of anything, I honor that. But the only thing I can think about that you can do to be able to climb out of any situation you're having with in family court, anything to do with a divorce, anything to do with parental alienation, anything like that, is to give yourself grace, be kind to yourself, really look at what is negative about you, what the whole thing is bringing up in you, like your sense of self-worth. I don't feel worthy of love many times. I don't trust anyone. These are the things that come up for me. And so I do meditate on these things, and I allow them to come forward, even though these are the things I don't want to see in myself. You understand? These are the things that are hardest to really introspectively kind of grab them outside of my body and look at them and say, oh my God, how horrible does this feel? How sad, how detrimental, how just disgusting. No human being should be allowed to bully another one to the point that I have been taken, and many people that go through relationship issues and decide to get divorced and then end up going through parental alienation. No one wants to go through the difficulties, and some people choose to take their lives, and some people choose to rebuild their lives with new families and forget their children in the past and just move on. I chose none of these. I chose to stay and to love my children, and I am not gonna be that voice that just agrees with anything because that's what my ex-husband wants me to do. If I see my kids doing something incorrect and wrong that will hurt their lives, I'll be the first one to scream fire. But love yourself. Look at those pieces of yourself that are not integrated and that really create those senses that are so negative in you, that drives you to points where you feel like you cannot recover. You are worthy of love. You're worthy of a better life after something so horrific has happened in your life. You deserve to be the parent to those children you brought into this world. You deserve to have the right to a better life. The right to life. Just that, the right to life. And while I am still in recovery, maybe you can hear my voice and not allow that other person to drag you through parental alienation. When someone is beginning these processes, you should halt communication completely, and you should direct yourself to a court of law. And if the first judge doesn't work, the first attorneys don't work, do it your damn self. But you don't give up on your children, and you don't give up on yourself.